There's a foolproof method used by many to be seen as the alpha male in a group, to be seen as the most desirable mate, to give yourself the status of a man who, by all means, is like no one else. And that is peacocking. Now, for those who don't know what peacocking is, my God, it's a pickup artist remedy as old as time itself. It's a flawless technique, being super over the top so that everyone knows that you're not afraid to have eyes on you, to put yourself in the spotlight. And now you might be wondering, what is a foolproof way to properly peacock around your peers or women or whatever you would like? And frankly, the most reasonable way to do that is to go to an event that is almost exclusively other men and wreck your Toyota Supra in front of everyone. This story's been going viral over the last week or two. It's this red Supra right here on screen going to a midnight Sokudo meet. And before we get into the accident here, I want to just talk about the kind of backstory of what happened here a little bit. Basically, there are these guys on Instagram, Midnight Sokudo, or however it is that you say it. It's a group who host meets, or at least that's what they call them. As you can see, posted right here in their bio, second line, almost right there at the top, saying, "We do not condone street racing or takeovers." Now, far be it from me, I'm definitely not the expert on the matter, but that definitely kind of looks like a takeover to me personally, and that kind of looks like a takeover to me personally, also on a road that could very easily be street race. That also kind of looks like a takeover to me personally. This also looks like a takeover to me personally, and that also looks like a takeover to me personally. So, can't stress this enough. Not a takeover page as they claim. So, let's get into why this isn't a takeover. So, after perusing their page a little bit, this Midnight Sokudo group looks like they host very large-scale car meets. They advertise no takeovers and no street racing, which is a very common tactic that these meet pages use to defer all liability to the individuals who attend. They say on their page that these things aren't allowed, but if you go to their events, it's a very different story. Maybe it's not a poster board takeover in the middle of an intersection, but it's people doing the same kinds of things, doing donuts, burnouts, revving, being disruptive, and also just plenty of instances of people being loud and trying to show off to a bunch of other men that they are hoping to court and take home with them. So this Supra here, the pickup master that we're about to witness here, wants to give his parting words to everyone at the event before he leaves, kind of show everyone that he's the main guy, and he just loved being there so much that he decided on his exit to cause a situation to keep him around for a little bit longer so that he could pick up some numbers of some of the other guys there. So, as you can see, Fabio himself wanted to stand on the gas and show people what was good as he left the meet. And as you hear the tires brake, you can hear how heavily he was in that throttle. Those tires break out, and he hits the rev limiter instantaneously. He was just at 100% throttle and just blew the back end out from the car and just was not expecting it at all, overcorrecting in every direction until eventually losing it and crashing into those poor souls that were parked way down the street there. Like, they're still obviously there pretty close to the meet, but like, look how no other car is anywhere closer, and they're just down the road a little bit, almost for sure with the intention of trying to stay out of the way of people being idiots. And the guy in back just gets his car killed by that Supra. So here we have another angle of the same incident. This was the first one I saw, and then I saw more and more angles kind of being brought to light as time went on. Oh, shit! This perspective of the accident obviously is clearly worse. I have no idea what this guy's fascination with Lexus sedans are, but apparently as that Supra is losing control, he wanted to pan back over and check it out. Oh. Somebody's running over to the crash site like my upstairs neighbors at 7 in the morning, just stomping across the floor with his whole chest. I also really like how actively in the background at this event that these organizers have explicitly tried to say is not a takeover or any takeover-like people. You just start actively hearing cars revving incessantly in the background. As a car has wrecked, there are just people just revving, trying to get more of the attention on them when someone has just crashed their car. It's so crazy.
Fuck!
Oh shit.
Yo, you good? Fuck. My bad. Hey, what is he doing, bro? Why are you driving crazy? I got a nice week, bro. I know that shit got power, but chill the fuck down.
So as you can see, the damage is immense. The driver is already out of the car, probably on the phone with Moore's Mutual Insurance. Moore's Mutual, we're here to help, sponsored by Life Alert. And this guy is now just in the regret stage of the whole incident. He's got everybody with their phones out, just running over, going, bro, oh my god, bro. And that just has got to be the worst situation to be in an accident in. I've said it before, I have no shame in saying it, it's all a part of driving. I've had my fair share of accidents in my time. When you're driving fast, it's just bound to happen at some point. I've had my accidents as all in race type situations where when the accident happens, it just either is what it is, or people come up and are asking if you're okay, and that's just kind of the end of it because it's just a racing incident at the end of the day. This has to be just such an embarrassing time to wreck your car when it's in front of all these other people at this event that you're at who want nothing more in the world than to get a video that goes viral at your expense. It has to be so embarrassing to see everyone run up and know how few people actually care that you're okay and only care about filming the destruction that is your car.
You just fuck up my helmet. Look at that shit.
Just the back bumper, and then the back towing on the second.
It's super tough.
I honestly give props to the Hellcat guy there. He was very calm about the whole situation. He sounded very just legitimately concerned, and he just sounded really bummed that his car got wrecked there. Me personally, I would at worst be catching a charge myself. At best, I would be leaving making that guy feel as badly as possible, because how stupid do you have to be to wreck a parked car on the side of the road showing off for a bunch of men? I really cannot wrap my head around it. It is crazy.
That's pretty cool.
That's dope, man.
So right here, we're really seeing the majority of the damage. So the car that took the heaviest of the brunt was this Infiniti. I believe it's a G37, but I'm kind of just guessing. I just know it's an Infiniti sedan. The Infiniti here is absolutely totaled. There is no way in the world that that is salvaged. That car is gone. And the Supra hit this guy so hard that the front of his car is killed as well, as you saw earlier in the video, and that went into the back end of the Hellcat up in front. The Hellcat does also look like it has some significant damage, but that car could be recoverable. Seems like the bumper was kind of pushed in, the trunk was kind of popped up a little bit. At worst, there may be a little bit of crumple damage on the back that would need to get pulled out, but other than that, if there's no internal damage underneath the bodywork, seems like it's mainly just a bumper, maybe a tail light, couldn't quite tell. But the Infiniti here was sitting there minding its own business and took a straight sucker punch from Ronaldo over there in the Supra.
No, they knocked the red Supra.
This is the final angle I have, and this really just shows off the damage a lot better. You can just see how killed the Supra is, how absolutely totaled this Infinity is here, both the back side and the front side. And something I just really love in this video is as it's going pretty much the entire time, you can just hear more just excited dudes just clip-clopping their way over like my upstairs neighbors, just really excited to, sorry, we got new neighbors upstairs and I have been hearing their footsteps over my head constantly, so it is at the forefront of my mind as I make the same joke twice. But this video mainly just shows the damage, and you can really hear everyone just excitedly running over to go get their video, looking at the accident and getting involved in the situation. It's pretty crazy stuff. So one of the main pages that blew up this incident and made it go so viral was this account called the Toge Police. And for those who don't know the Toge Police, they're an Instagram account that posts a lot of these canyon related wrecks and people just doing stupid stuff in their cars, people going fast, all types of canyon related content. So with the Toge Police posting about this incident, they kind of tagged Midnight Sokudo about the whole incident and kind of made some jokes about it, just kind of making fun of the situation because it is really stupid and it makes a meet look really bad. Now Midnight Sokudo here posted a response in light of the Toge Police's spotlight on them because so many people were kind of clowning on the whole incident and just talking about how stupid this meet is, calling them a bunch of takeover kids, calling them street racers, just all this stuff to really tear down the credibility of the group. Rightfully so, because this is a pretty terrible incident that happened there under their, air quotes, watch. I'm gonna break the magician's code here. Nobody who runs any of these meets has any level of authority over anyone here, and everyone's pretty aware of that. But since they're the ones who are the organizers, they are held the most responsible if the group as a whole does something that can kind of cause legal attention. So Midnight Sokudo posted this very level-headed response that is totally believable and I totally see no issue with, where they relate the Toge Police to TMZ in a way that seems somewhat derogatory before then following that up, basically, big shocker, just denying all hand in the situation and saying that these people are totally unrelated from them. You can read this if you'd like and see what it says word for word, but it pretty much just echoes what they say on their page, where they're denying all liability for people who drive reckless or street races at the events that they host. Basically saying there were so many people up there, like their meet was popping so crazy, you couldn't even do any racing up there if you wanted to. But if we can kind of go back to the beginning there, where I pointed out how few cars there were before the three that our resident soccer player here absolutely killed, that road did look open enough to street race, so that's a blatant lie right off the bat. And then they finish it off by just blaming the road and not their horribly organized event by saying that accidents happen up on this road that they're at all the time, and just because one happened on their cruise and got media attention doesn't mean it reflects the whole community. I hate to break it to Midnight Sokudo, but it absolutely does, and I would put them at partial blame for this incident. Obviously, they can't control the driver who's being an idiot, but they are hosting an event full of drivers who are idiots, so shocker that something went wrong. And so, at least from what I know so far, this is pretty much where this story ends. It's a pretty lame situation all around. It's just another situation of people at these shows who just don't know how to drive their car and then somehow cause a situation where it needs to be other innocent people's problems, but also at the same time, I also wanted to spotlight how annoying I think this organization is. This is something that isn't specific to just these guys. I've noticed this a lot, that people will host these meets that very clearly are meant to entice takeover kids and takeover activity, but publicly they'll deny all involvement and all liability for the people that show up to their events. It's pretty scummy, it's pretty lame, it's just not taking accountability and trying to be cool while also trying to avoid any of the repercussions from, for whatever reason that I can't understand, having any kind of interest in this behavior, because it's super lame. There's nothing cool about just being loud and not talented at all. Like, maybe I'm just old, I don't know, but it seems pretty lame to me. But that's pretty much it. Don't be like this guy. Don't go to these events. It's all just people like this who suck, and, you know, do something better. Drive your car at a track. Actually Go fast. Watch my videos for good advice on how to not be a lame driver. Stuff like that. Stuff where you can really better yourself and become a absolute alpha male. That's the real man's peacocking, is being a quiet, fast driver. No, but in all seriousness, it's just all good fun. I mean, this is pretty lame, so I wanted to make fun of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I appreciate everyone for watching, so hope you guys enjoy, and I really appreciate the support. Thanks.